I'm here today to help you, parents and dancers, learn how to make a good ballet bun. Just so you know, there's 3 levels of bun making. There's the high bun, which you should be able to see when you're looking straight ahead. And we use the high bun when we're dancing in tutus like Swan Lake or Sleeping Beauty, and we're wearing crowns. The normal bun that dancers wear for class, it's like a mid-range bun, okay? And that one's the most common. And then the low bun, we use that in ballets like Les Sylphides, Giselle, the Romantic period ballets. So today, Sarah is going to help us do this. First, although, I want to talk about proper tools. It's like if you're doing a home project. You have to have the right tools, or it'll take you a lot more time and you will not be successful. First thing I want to show you, this is the wrong kind of brush. These kind of bristles do not work in any kind of hair, okay? The kind of brush you do want is one with the little pointy things. Don't you like that terminology? It's very, very accurate. This brush is for ratting or teasing your hair, and sometimes you need to do that depending on where the bun lays. If you're going for a low bun, a lot of times you'll have to tease the sides of your hair. Most important that most dancers or students don't think about is the comb with the tail. This is really important if you're doing a low bun, for example. Are you okay? And you need the tail to make a really good part. The tail helps you make a part, not just the teeth, but the tail. And also, when you're done with your bun and you have strays, this helps stick the hair pieces into the bun, or it's French twist or anything. So this is a really important tool that a lot of people don't think about. If you have really thick hair or you're African American, you might want this kind of a comb. You still need this, but this is going to get through your hair better. Also, what we have here are different hairpins. This is a really important hairpin to have. It's the big hairpin, and it's actually curved, and I'll explain why in a minute. See, it's curved. Then you have a flatter big hairpin. This is the smallest one. This you just use to pull in the little loose ends. You do not use this to hold anything. This holds nothing. This is a big bobby pin. Sometimes for a big bun, you might if you have really heavy hair. Normal bobby pin. We use this a lot to put on different headpieces and caps and that kind of thing, and we'll cross them to hold them secure. There's never such a thing as not enough pins, okay? And then we've got 2 different kinds of hair ties. You don't want rubber bands, you want the coated ones. This is a normal one for making your ponytail. This is a smaller one. You may use it if you're making braids and it's at the end. They also make, like, for braces, people use those little teeny rubber bands. You can use those too for the end of a braid. And of course, you have to have a hairnet. People don't think that, but yes. And then last but not least, if you have short hair, which of course Miss Sarah here does not have, this is a fake bun. Now this thing is a little scary to look at, but my friend in France made this for me when I was a professional dancer. But you stick, and I'll show you how this works, but it's great for short hair, and it will make a bun easily. I mean, my hair even shorter, I can use this and it looks like I have really long hair. So we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so Sarah, you're good at putting your hair in a ponytail, right? So we're going to let you tip over upside down and get that hair in a ponytail. So you can see she's got it upside down. She's sort of pulling it together. You really have to learn to use your hands. Hands are really important. And she's gathering it up. You want to put your brush here, are you okay? Yeah, good, good. So now she has her ponytail. She did it all by herself. She did a great job. And if you have a little bumps in the middle or something, you take your comb and you just smooth it back to give it a smoothing quality, okay? The big thing is you don't want wispies. We talk about that at Michigan Classic. And me being the meanie that I am, I always tell them that if I find a wispy, I will cut it off. And I've been known to actually cut it off. So they're very careful with their hair. And it doesn't matter if it's bumpy up at the top where her rubber band is, because her bun's going to cover it. But now it's nice and smooth in the front. So there's a couple options you can do to make the bun. Usually the easiest one, depending on your hair quality, if it's fine or thick, I usually just roll it around each other like this. Some people will braid it if they've got really thick hair. And you know, too long of hair is not any good, and too short of hair isn't really any good either, so you got to sort of figure out the happy medium. And then you just roll it around. Okay, and now we use our pins. So we have a couple bobby pins. I'm just going to, and I don't suggest you use your teeth, but I am. Just to hold the little tail, so I can get a little better hold on it. It's hard to do someone else's hair, I have to say. It's much easier. I can do mine in a minute. Okay, so I stick the pins in there. Now, these pins I was talking about, these hair pins are gold. And the reason they're bent is you put them in this way. They catch the hair and they go this way. I see so many children put them in sideways. Does no good. Upside down, does no good. The idea is to catch the hair, grab your head, stick it in. Feel that, Sarah? And with the couple bobby pins that I placed, the actual hairpin went into the bobby pin, which is holding it. She could probably get away with 4 pins, but we don't suggest that. You try it a little bit on your own. So I'm coming on this side. So you should do like north, south, east, and west. So I did both sides. And I'm using only these pins. I really don't use much of the other ones. Here's the north, coming up. See, I come up, grab a bit of the bun, and then go into the bottom of her scalp. Are you okay? That feels a little, it's stuck. There we go. As I dig into her scalp. She won't cry out, though. She's a tough one. And then here at the back. And she's in. That's it. So now what we do we have a hairnet or just this one that I have here? Probably just this one, right? I'm gonna rip it off the paper. And of course you should get the color of hairnet that matches your hair. Same thing with bobby pins. These big pins come in gold and black, so depending on your hair color. And of course hairnets come in black and gold too. So now, you take the hairnet, and often hairnets will have holes in them. Don't panic. You just double it, because you're going to double it anyway. Okay? And then you take it from the front and put it around to the back. You want to gather the rest of it in the back. Of course, you don't want this big thing sticking up in front. And I'm going to stick it under, but of course I put the pins in so well. I'm going to pull one out. Sorry, Sarah. I'm going to pull one out and just grab it to the hairnet. So it's in. And I'm going to do that with the same thing on this other side, so I can just uniform it. It's now uniform without adding more pins. Sometimes too many pins. A, it's uncomfortable, and B, it's not necessary. So I'm gathering the net there too. Okay. And now, like for the little hairpins, for example, if this is a little bit bothering me because it's a little rounded, I would take it, and here's where the tail comes in, and you start shoving things up into the bun, and you can flatten it out that way. And then you can use the little hairpins to gather it up and stick it up and in. Okay, see that I got that one little edge in. I don't have enough of these to show you, but that's the idea. And you just gather it up, pull it up, stick it in, and it'll lay flatter. Okay, chin up. There you go. Okay, so I really think that's about it. And then of course you always have hairspray, and you know this is old-fashioned hairspray, but it's the best. I even use it for myself. Close your eyes. Don't need much. Last but not least, I want to talk about some of the different clips that they have out there on the market. I don't know if you've seen those like little silver and they come in colors. Those are not appropriate for on stage. Now you can wear them in a class setting or a rehearsal setting, but you don't want anything that's bright or shiny that's going to cause light to shine off of it. So really that's where your simple bobby pins come into care. And so if she needed, turn to the side for me, Sarah. So she'd need maybe a little bit of bobby pin help here because she's got this wispy thing going. You can use bobby pins. There's nothing wrong with the bobby pin coming in. And this one's not quite the right color of her hair. Do I have another one? No. So the bobby pin here can hold your hair flat. That's perfectly fine, okay? You just want to hide it as much as possible. And again, this blonde one's only showing up because her hair's not blonde. And here, again, I put more hairspray on it. You can also use like a gel, good old-fashioned dippity-doo, if you're really going on stage, because headpieces will pull your hair. So the more hairspray you have, the less you're going to get this wispy. And see, this would be a classic Mrs. Geiger wispy that I would cut off if it was not behaving itself. But I'm not going to just cram it right now because she doesn't need to. So that's really your bobby pin issue. If you have bangs, and you're not allowed to wear bangs in Geiger Ballet, you would pull them back and you could take your two bobby pins. I'm going to take them out of her hair since we have no more. And you would just cross them and hold your hair up. Or you could take a headband. You just would cross them. And again, this is blonde, it's sticking out. You'd want the same color. Or you can get a headband like mine and you just pull your hair back, your bangs back with your headband. We also, you can put a hair, some kind of decoration in your hair. Scrunchies are pretty. Little flower is nice for class, for rehearsal, and of course for stage. It depends on what role you're playing. Okay, so I'm going to now lastly show you how to use the fake bun. Okay, so I'm just going to pull her hair out of the bun that I made and show you how that works. They sell them at the drugstore, but they're hard and they're like mesh. That's why I love this one, because it's flat. You don't want it to look like you have a doorknob on your head, and those really tend to. So when I was a little girl, my father ran over mine, which ended up to be a fabulous thing because it flattened it. Who knew? Okay, so you take the hole of the donut, okay, and you stick your hair through the hole. Okay? Now let's say you have shorter hair, because she really doesn't need this. You open it up and you just spread it around. Alright? Now this is where you'd use a little bit of a tease, because it will hold the hair from separating too much. So you just lightly tease the hair to get a little more thickness going. So I'm going to tease her hair. That should be enough. And I'm going to spread it around like I did originally. And just so you can see the bun starting to form already. And you just take it and you tuck under the hair. Like I said, she's got a lot of hair. It's long, so she doesn't really need this. But you keep going around. Again, your pin, round. Grab some of it. Push it in. So you want to have a pin ready for me? The big ones? Yeah. Thank you. Same thing, come in, underneath, and through. So now we're coming to the other side. And the color of your donut should be, again, the color of your hair. This one's blonde, obviously, because I'm blonde. Well, sort of. Okay. And so now you just got to work the tail in. But again, because she's got a lot of hair, normally you wouldn't have this much hair to have to deal with. So I'm going to come from the front, lift your chin. And now I've got a couple wispies I got to, or strays. So I can use a thinner hair pin at this point in time just to get the ends around. See, she's got a lot of extra. So I stick it underneath, shove it in, and then I take another hair pin and hold it there. Okay? Okay. so now I'm not too worried about the shape all the way around because I'm going to take her hairnet again and I'm going to cover it. Like I said, she's got a lot of holes in this one, so I'm doubling it. I can do it really on the hair and then double it. Now this is where you want to smooth it in here. I'm going to use a little one because I see I've got, her hair's not covering the donut as well as I'd like. I don't want any holes, no peekaboo. So I just sort of work it so it covers it and sticks it in. I don't need the big ones per se. Here's another little one coming over here, grabbing that hairnet. See, there's a piece of hair that didn't get tucked in. Grab both and tuck it in. Okay. So this shaped her bun. If you don't have enough hair, it gives you the density that you need and the shape. You can see this is an awful big bun for a little girl's head. Okay, it's quite large. Now this would be in the category, look straight at the camera, of a high bun, because looking at her you can see the bun. And then if you put a crown on, you would have a nice dimension and uniformity and proportion, I guess is the word I'm really looking for. You need proportion when you have hair. But see, now that's a lovely bun, but it's a little bit big for her. But hey, if she was going to the Oscars, she would wear this. Yeah? And that's it. I mean, I could put some more pins in. Shake your head. That's the test. If you shake your head and it feels like nothing's going to fall out, you know you've done a good bun. If you feel anything rattling, then you know you have to add more pins. And so once again, I would just take a little bit of hairspray. I don't really need bobby pins in here too much. I could. I don't like this little bump. I could just sort of pull it up and into it, flatten it a little bit. If I had a couple more small hairpins, I could really make it smooth. And off she goes. Ta-da! Okay, hopefully this will help you. And if you have any questions, go to our website and we can respond to any questions you may have. Thanks. Thank you, Sarah.